Cool. All right, let's get started, and I'll have to be a little bit faster, I think. So my name's David Martin, and I'm talking about the use of deep fakes in social media and my journey of in that space in the last sort of 9 to 12 months. So onward. So first off, thanks to the Triple D conference people for making it possible. It's my second year. It's an awesome experience. Please apply to talk. There's great subjects, and I'm always interested to read more and see more, so I'm sure everyone else is too. So yeah, please apply if you get the chance. And big thanks to the guys looking after the coffee cart. I'll be there later on. Cool.
I, of course, need no introduction, but I have the pleasure of introducing David Martin. He is Chief Technology Officer at Grafa, a FinTech startup here in Perth. Before joining Grafa, he was the technical lead for the COVID-19 response for the Western Australian Department of Health. He also teaches machine learning and data analytics at the University of Western Australia. Between you and me, he's been naughty this year and is not getting anything from me. Enjoy the talk. I hope you come away inspired. Stay safe.
Thank you, Santa Claus. So how many of you know what a deepfake is, or think you know what a deepfake is? Yeah, heard the term? Yeah, cool. Hopefully I'll challenge that understanding later today, or in the next few minutes. So how did they get here? So last year, I know those of you who saw me talk or see me babble on LinkedIn, I was playing with machine learning operations, or MLOps, last year, and I was looking for ways of automating, looking for trading strategies on the ASX. So I'm a big FinTech fan and love finance, and luckily I'm a programmer, so I got to mix the two and look at trading models. And one of the things I learnt from that was trying to capture sentiment. How do people feel about a company? Even if a company puts out positive information, is the stock price going to go up because people trust the company? So what's the sentiment towards it? And trying to capture that in a data sense is actually incredibly difficult. Can't really put a survey out. So how do you capture it? And further to that is I was like inventing new things and launching new ideas. And so in the finance space, I started something called Blue Harvest, but I need to market it. I know nothing about marketing. I'm a programmer. Luckily, I have friends who are marketers who got to explain and go, look at this, look at that. So I actually got to learn. But I'm time poor, so I need to automate it. How do I automate my marketing, right? It's a dream. Next thing is, in the startup world, I've got no money, right? So free or cheap. If I can do that too, even better. And the third component is video content. It's got to be video content. If you look at TikTok, it's exploding. People writing text, stories, posts, whatever. It doesn't seem to be as popular anymore as video content. So I need to automate it. It needs to be free. I need to make videos. So pretty tall order, but that's the challenge I set myself, because at the end of the day, if I'm launching something, I need marketing. Otherwise, you go nowhere, right? Business fails, no matter how good it is. So today, what I want to discuss is just a quick one through social media, concepts and numbers, just some terms that you've probably heard in social media, just to explain a bit more, and then some numbers around it so you can get an appreciation of how that works in the social media space and what they mean. Next thing is data baseline. So let's capture some data from, let's call it my visibility in social media, or of this Blue Harvest thing I'd written, and how measure that as a starting point, and do I succeed? Do I get more free marketing? And the next piece is deep fakes. So that's the idea of using that video content. Synthetic media is another term, and I'll get into that later. But deep fakes, how do we use these videos? How can we automate video production? And the net result, did it work? Did it just tank, and did I waste my money and my time? So let's get going. So first off, social media. People know what impressions are? Yeah, someone looked at your cat video, that's an impression, right? Picture of your kid, that's an impression. Engagement. Yeah, that's when someone pressed like, repost, retweet. I can't think of another word, but those things. They've interacted with your social media content, whatever that may be. Followers. Yeah, you hear influencers bang on about followers. So, and Donald Trump will tell you, with 90 million of them, or used to have, when you put out a piece of content, immediately all your followers get to see it. That's the first group of people that see it. Then after they like, retweet, whatever, then out it goes. So really, followers help you project your posts. So really increasing followers, and some people pay for them, is very important. So that's another number to consider. And the last thing I want to explain there is organic versus paid. So organic is you taking a picture of your cat and sticking it on wherever it was, Instagram. Whereas paid, some people pay content writers, advertising. The company I now work for actually does that sort of stuff, makes social media posts for companies. So there's a whole market in that space, and can be quite expensive. Even simple text posts with photos take money and time. So engagement rates, which you heard me just discuss previously. So just to keep the math simple, Twitter's at 1%. That's considered a good engagement rate. Oh, sorry, my slides are now out a bit. That's a good engagement rate. So what that means is if you had 100 people see your cat tweet and one person hit like or retweet or whatever, that's good, right? That's considered a good number. I know, sounds crappy, but it's good. And you can see along there, there's LinkedIn at 6 and so on and so forth. So just to keep the maths easy, one person 100 is considered success on Twitter. So next piece is, how much are people spending on marketing? So Twitter, $1.4 billion in advertising profit last calendar year, US. Facebook at 50 billion. And number one is Google, $200 billion in advertising. So it's a fair whack of money, and if I can avoid giving them any more, I certainly would try. So video content. So what are some stats around video content? What makes it so popular? So the first thing is 78% of people watch online videos every week, and that's in some form, whether it's autoplay on Twitter or TikTok, whatever. It's incredibly popular. The next stat is 72% of customers would rather learn this way. So I was thinking of my dad building his lawnmower he just bought the other week. We found a video online on how to build it, because reading a manual sucks. Whereas if someone shows you how to do it, you can always learn faster and acquire the skills or knowledge faster. The next one is message retention. More people remember the message you put in a video than in a piece of text. And finally, more businesses are doing it. It's going up every year, and probably it's a self-fulfilling thing. You see TikTok being popular, so people try and get on TikTok. Causes more videos, more businesses get on there, and on it goes. So really, if you're going to advertise for your business, having a video, even casual videos you've just shot on your iPhone, is a really good idea. It really does help. And the one that blows me away is the cost. A professional 1 minute of finished video is between $1,000 and $10,000. And I got that from a friend of mine in the US. That's the cost. Who's got that kind of money? Right, for 1 minute, you want to put lots of videos out every month because you want to stay relevant. So an insane cost, and no startup can keep up with that. So anything you can do to get it free and cheap, the better. So for me, in my journey, what I did was I had to get some data. Get the data is one of my favorite sayings. So what I'm showing you here, this is a tweet from one of my Twitter accounts. This is completely automated. Now, just to explain, market-sensitive announcements are announcements that companies put out on the stock exchange, hence the ASX, that are sensitive, that would move the share price. And all my little piece of code does is every time one of those announcements are published by the ASX on behalf of a company, I tweet it. You can see it there. So it gives you the name of the company, gives you the name of the title of the announcement, timestamp, and a couple of hashtags. So I won't go into hashtags. What I do want to call out is the M&S. Now, what that is in the trading space is those of you who are what they call FinTwits, or finance people who are on Twitter, these dollar signs are the same as a hashtag. But in the finance world, we use that to, if you want to look at BHP or CB, you can do it yourselves, you've got a Twitter account. And what you'll see is all the tweets, that's how we tag companies. And it's done all over the world. What occurred to me was I could now look at, let's call it popularity, or popularity of a particular company. In this case, M&S, I don't know what the hell they do. But I can type that into Twitter and I'll see all the tweets about them. So what occurred to me was, I'd been doing this for about 12, 18 months, was I could download all this data and see how frequently is M&S discussed? How frequently is it engaged with? Because then what it does is, when I'm trying to make video content, which is expensive, is I can now target my video content towards the more popular ASX companies. So I use the Twitter API, download all the stats from my Twitter account. That's kind of how long it took. So just to point out as well, I apologize. You can see on the bottom the 5, the 1, and the 26. It's a bit faded out. That's the engagement. So you've got 26 likes, a retweet, and 5 comments, whatever they are. So that's the stats. That's the engagement we're downloading for every tweet. So this is from SQL Service, a little bit rough, I apologize. You can see on the top, I've got the ASX codes down the left, and then I've got engagement percentage, and then you can see impressions and those other concepts I talked about. So you can see, because I wrote the tweets, I can get the ASX code out. So I can tell you what's popular. So TCL, don't know what they do, 8% engagement off one tweet. So what that says to me is you've got engaged shareholders. So I'm not going to get into that whole side of things. It's a whole other experiment. But the point is that you can see there's a high level of engagement with certain stocks. And I've just grabbed the top dozen there just to show you, based on engagement percentage of 8%, which is 8 times better than what they say the good rate is. So fantastic. But also we can look at it in impressions. If you look at M&S, one we just showed the tweet for, 4,700 impressions, views. 4,700 people saw it, or the 3 tweets, but a low engagement rate. So it really depends in marketing. Do you want people engaging with the content or do you want people seeing you? So that's the difference between brand awareness and trying to get them to buy your stuff. So if we flip that on its head, oh, there you go. So TCL is at 8%, and M&S was the one I just showed. So what if we flip it? What if we just look at impressions? Look at the very top, ASN, 6,500 impressions for the same time period. So straight away, using this list, and I think, oh, there you go, M&S came at number 3 here. Oh, apologies. My slides are out of sync because they're on my other laptop. So what I'll show here is you can see those high numbers of impressions, and the top 20 down to AGY there, which is one of the stocks, I decided to focus on them. So what I decided is there's plenty of news stories written about these stocks, if you're on Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever, is I'm going to write video content about those news stories. So basically getting a free ride off someone else's content. So what I did was I thought, well, I'll focus on the top 20 because then I can focus my spend and my effort on those, and that's the only tweets I send out. So you really want to keep the volume down. So based on that, sorry, let's keep going through. I started looking at video content, and now we'll talk about deep fakes.
Hi, I'm Santa Claus. This is the real me. Hi, I'm Santa Claus's digital twin. The difference between a deep fake and a digital twin is that a digital twin is made with consent of the person, whereas a deep fake is done without consent.
So thank you, Santa Claus, for that explanation. And that's the bit I wanted to bring up. So deep fakes, I think, is the pejorative or the negative term. Digital twins are done with consent. That's very important in all this. This guy's an actor. My kids aren't in the room. This guy's an actor, okay? So we have to be respectful towards the actors in this. They are paid, okay? They're paid to use their likeness. So there's very strict rules or ethics around what you do. It can't be political, can't be religious, no harassment, no bullying. This is very important, this. And a lot of the platforms, I assume all the platforms, police that. There's a lot of content moderation intentionally. Because what you're doing is you're getting Santa Claus or somebody else to say something. And they wouldn't even know it's been done. So it's very important all this, and that's where the difference between a deep fake and a digital twin. So there's, I think the most commonly ripped off guy is Tom Cruise. He's an actor, plenty of footage. So yeah, most commonly ripped off. But that's the big difference here, is we use digital twins, which most people know as deep fakes, but that's a very important difference there. So what platforms out? There's plenty of them, and they're changing all the time. Now the cool one I want to call out here is $1 per finished minute. That's a big difference from that $1,000 you'd have to hand over. Now, obviously, it's a bot, so it's not perfect, right? That technology is still evolving. But I've given you 3 examples there. Our one, that's an Israeli company. There's plenty more, and that's where synthetic media comes in. If you Google that and have a look around, you'll see there's plenty of stuff. Ideally, if you're going to automate, you want an API, clearly. Otherwise, you're doing manual ones all day long. I will share the slides at the end if you guys want to have a look, so you get all the reference points. What I've chucked on the right there very quickly is a sample of what I've been doing. Yeah, so at the top's the video, I'll just run that in a second, and you can see the tweet attached to it. And you can see, importantly, this company is Cyana, another company. I put the $ SYA. That means anyone who's following that stock on Twitter will see my video. Yeah.
Justin from Motley Fool.
Sorry.
Why is the Sayona share price lifting on Monday? Published the 5th of September. Visit Blue Harvest Digital to get the latest news and market information.
Fairly simple, straightforward, easy to do. Did that through an API. So as I'm standing here with you, as I love to tell people, that thing's probably making videos. So it is possible. And these kinds of things do it at a very low price. So
That was all very interesting, David. But what were the results? Was it worth it?
it's tempting to do the whole 20-minute talk with the video, but I changed my mind. So I put a few in. So this is another one called Sophia. The other guy was called Paul. They're all actors, so you like to refer them by name. It's kind of cool. Anyway, some stats. So did it work? Was I wasting my time? I always believe learning something new is not a waste of time, but nonetheless. So tweet-only text, 0.63%, well below the 1% that they say is good. Video tweets, 3.99, and that's just those top 20 companies. Now the thing is, that constantly changes. As engagement changes for those stocks, the top 20 is dynamic. It'll pick whatever's in the list. So I couldn't tell you what the list is right now. Well, I screenshot the other day, but nonetheless, it changes all the time based on traffic, which is great. So that is 6.5 times better. And I'm producing about 60 minutes of video a month, so about $60, give or take, completely automated. So that was the big one for me there. And I didn't know that till I did the chart, so I was quite impressed. The next one, very quickly, is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I publish content too, and I'll just show you the competitors. These are financial news companies in Australia publishing ASX content. You can see me, sorry it's called Boardroom Herald this time, but that's me there. I've just named everyone else to protect the innocent. But you can see the followers, 1,100 compared to 16,000 at the top, so massive difference. But the cool thing is, with automated content, I'm at number 2 on engagement. So I am beating that. And that top company, $150 million ASX company with 3 full-time staff. So it is, you can get in the fight with marketing with this sort of stuff. And that's the last 6 months. And finally, some people saw the weird shit I do on the internet and they said, come be a CTO at a FinTech. So it's been absolutely awesome. So I hung up my time at Health after 20 odd years and came to work for them and I've been there about 6 months. Yeah, that's that. That's me in the back row somewhere. But that's the talk. Sorry for the AV malfunction. That's that. There's 4 minutes left, we're over. So if you want to mug me outside and ask questions, you're welcome to, or Twitter or something. That's right. Cool.